My name is Elena Markus. You already seen the slide today. So who are the target groups we want to address? And as you can see, there's a broad range of these groups. And the question is what is the approach to get into the education and academia as well to the architecture offices, to general public, and so on. So I think one possible approach is to work in the intersection, and that's what. That's what we do at the Bauhaus Earth, working on the 5 fields of the expertise with an international team and German and English speaking team of about 50 experts from geosciences, architecture, governments, urban planning, and forestry, of developing and the different projects. And what I want to talk about today is our work on the intersection of demonstration and application, working on the different types of prototypes, and the education and learning formats, where we try not only to transform the theoretical research into experimental design, but also combine it with the learning moments of these prototypes. Yeah. So why we do it? And because we think that now is a moment. Yes, we are enterprises, and we know that, so you all probably know, that's why we are sitting here today, that the construction and real estate sectors play a critical role. They are responsible for the 40% of global CO2 emissions, and that's why we need the fundamental transformation. And for us, again, to mention the historic Bauhaus, where we draw our inspiration, trying to rethink and to transform the built environment. So not only to get to the neutral status, but mainly be more radical. So to move from the major source of carbon emission to the major current state, and to drive a shift for a sustainable future. So our vision is a future in which the buildings, the cities, and the landscapes could proactively contribute to climate restoration and to create a positive impact on our planet. So that's why we advocate for a systemic change and work with the geo-based regional materials. We always try to stay within the region, show it in the moment at the circular construction, and of course in the reuse of existing buildings once again. And one example is the mock-up corner as a part of an open-air exhibition we designed in the middle of Berlin, near the Unter den Linden Straße, and there where the most federal ministers are also sitting, where you can see their regional and reuse materials they use. That's with the reused concrete foundation, the wall made of unfired earth block from the Berlin excavation site, and the timber construction of the timber ceiling construction of the Brotherburg palm, and have earth insulation that also, of course, the Kuna showing the possibilities not only regarding the construction, but also the question of EU design possibility in the ecological materials. Another example, the protopod stem, our first prototype and taker we also created as well as educational environment we used for various 4 months in the past 2 years. And again, on the right, you see the map with the transportation ways for all materials used to build the pavilion Potsdam, the city near Berlin, or other way around, depending on where you come from. And so the blocks coming from the Berlin region and the timber construction or the raw timber collapse coming from the Brandenburg forest and the historic foundations used for the columns. Here you can see found on the side within the process of the research project. So that's the first example of a possibility to demonstrate a new pathway for a climate positive construction. And works. Okay. And Protopotsdam, because the project we conducted with the parts at the TIC Berlin, the Ebbisweiler University for Sustainable Development, and the Heise School of Potsdam, of course, Bauhaus Earth itself, where we investigated the potential of regional resources, or we tried to respond to regional challenge and also tried to evaluate and transform the regional way of shame to one which is sustainable in the future, and as well as to develop a site-specific education program, which we did together with the Nobel Prize, which was intended to inspire professional audience as well as a civil society, depending on the formats we conducted. There was also a permanent exhibition we installed with the possibility to get more insights into the general definitions and the materials itself used, the technique and the idea of the construction. So people who are interested, who are passing by, who are wanted to know more or to take example, learn about the Pali and the idea behind it. Also, an podcast, a series podcast was is in German English. Is now available on Spotify, and there was also a series of events. Yeah. Okay. A series of events and a different on different levels, which we have done mostly in the summer months. So between May and you can say October. At the site of Proto Potsdam, such a Proto Skills Week, where you could really work with unworked clay to form the clay stones and to really experience how it works, what are the materials required, and what are the regulations with at Proto residences. Here you can see on the right with an architect from Switzerland and Kyrgyzstan, working with the light wood materials, or for example so some cultural formats like this opera which about the ecological crisis and the way from the crisis on those podcasts, as well as the conference taking place the past December and begin the before topic, so bio-based construction in the region of Berlin and Brandenburg. And another example is the series of workshops we conducted with the topic of Trotter du Arrivai, such as Pardon d'idée with the motto more is more. What is more? Okay. And the wall, the healthy wall, how to build with the hand and hand-based materials, or the one seminar done screening, how to build the timber construction without using glue or natural. And last but not least, the setting up and hands-on workshop from forest to frame on regenerative constructions with the bio-based materials. That was a one-day seminar we did in cooperation with the Architecture Chamber of Berlin, mostly for players or people who work by construction, design, architecture offices, and which was asking the questions or how forest construction and climate are interconnected, also combining the theory and the practice of nature and bio-based materials. So with the more theoretical session with the foundations on regenerative construction and what is the global context, what is the role of the wood or clay can play in the construction, looking into the future as what do we need, which materials are already available for the climate neutral or climate positive transformation of the construction industry. And the second part, the program moved to more practical work, as you can see in this second video, with the introduction of the two prototypes, two types of partition walls with the clay clustering. And so insights and the ongoing research project, the two projects are now conducted by my colleagues with the Bauhaus Earth, with the cooperative housing in Berlin, which is being renovated using the bio-based materials and Haar in Haar, Liegengsland in den Weißen See. So what are their conclusions? So first of all, at the prototypical structures can function not only as experimental building system, but they also can serve as learning environments that make regenerative construction principles visible and understandable. And so by linking the material experimentation, design research, hands-on training, we are aiming to create bridges between theory and practice and enable diverse audiences to engage directly with bio-based materials. Thank you very much.